Welcome back. I wanted to talk about how things are going for me since I've gone zero carb 4 months in, and the changes are just keep going deeper. So dander. Now, I don't know if you've heard of dander. It's a term for cat hair, but it's the most common allergy, and I've had it most of my life because I've been around people with dog hair and cat hair, okay? So it's gone. It's disappeared, and no more sniffing in the morning. I used to get a lot of sinus congestion as well. That's gone. We've got knee pain disappeared. More skin changes. The muscle stayed on. I did a previous video on why I went zero carb with the cancer diagnosis, and it only took me 8 weeks to eliminate this tumor. However, I put a lot of emphasis on high fat, and now I've cut back a bit because my body doesn't want as much, but I've kept the muscle on. And I think I've said that. I've actually gained muscle and not fat, particularly around my core, doing more exercise, of course, and more stamina, a lot more lung capacity. I don't get puffed out. I can play vigorous sport, and I don't get exhausted. I don't start breathing heavily or can't catch my breath. That's all changed, even though I was a smoker for a period of time, a long time ago. So it's just increasing, which basically it's like a rejuvenation going on. My skin's firmer. My hair has become thicker. Not straight away. It did fall out a little bit, but that's all an adjustment. The other thing was obviously digestive. No more bloating, no wind. That's another thing. People just think excess wind, farting all the time is normal. Well, it's not. It is when you eat a lot of plants, though. And I did have a umbilical hernia, which was giving me a bit of grief, particularly when I was vegan. It would give me a lot of pain. And I noticed the first time I took out plants in 2018, when I did the carnivore, kind of not as strict as I'm doing now, but still had the effect of reducing this pain I was getting in a hernia I had. And obviously the more plants I went back into, that all came back, and anything that was beans or anything I just couldn't do. I'd be in agony. So this time strict carnivore, nothing. And I was going to have a hernia repair. I'd actually really thought about it, but of course the procedures now, they put mesh in. I don't want to do any of that or any of the kind of substances they have in anesthetics. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to keep going. And right now I don't even have any awareness of it. So it's fabulous. And that's definitely changed my gut microbiome, obviously the high fat, zero carb. And it's just great. So I'm going along with it and continuing. So that, I'm going to be back on Dave's channel shortly. So there's quite a few things I'll be talking about there. But also the rosiness back in our cheeks. Natural rosiness. I don't wear face makeup. But, you just look more healthier, more vital. My eyesight's even better. So the list goes on. I'm just so grateful that, I wouldn't have gone back on this if it wasn't for the cancer diagnosis. So it's been a gift. It really has. And something I'll just keep doing. People said to me, why don't you just go ketogenic? Put in a few little things. Well, I know my system. I know what's happened to me in the past. If I had a little bit of something, I'd notice it. I don't feel as good. So when you're on a good thing, you stick with it. Okay, that's the update. Bye for now.